Matthew Elledge, an English teacher at Scott Catholic High School in Omaha, Nebraska, was hoping to remain in that position for some time, but the school declined to renew his contract after they found out that he planned to marry another man. Although 45,000 signatures have been gathered in support of the very popular teacher, the school so far remains firm in its decision. Students point out that the school is not consistent in its policy and that many teachers take birth control pills or are divorced in a manner not supported by the church and don't get the axe as a result. The school claims that they don't go looking for reasons to terminate a teacher's contract, but that when faced with a situation that is widely publicized, they have no choice. Legal experts state that while this seems like something that could be the subject of a discrimination lawsuit, exceptions are made in such laws for religious institutions, giving the church rights that in ordinary business might be denied. Casey Hughes, who started the petition in support of Elledge, also believes that the local diocese should take a lesson from Pope Francis, who has, in some cases, relaxed the church's position on the issue. At the moment, the prospects for the school to reverse its stand seem slim, but with enough public pressure, anything's possible. In what seems to be an unusual move for a public official, Attorney General Scott Pruitt of Oklahoma is offering legal advice to state schools on how to properly distribute religious materials. His letter sent on April 14th is likely in response to an 8-page treatise issued on April 3rd by the American Humanist Association on how the Constitution does and does not protect religious activities when it comes to state-run school systems. The 8-page letter is replete with case law examples of court rulings against distribution of religious materials in schools, and the initial results appear to be that school officials are discouraging any such practice at all, rather than face possible legal action. But in the Attorney General's view, there are right ways and wrong ways to distribute such materials, and that if it can be shown that the school takes a neutral view on religious literature, the practice can continue. In a press release, he is quoted as saying, "I will not stand idly by while out-of-state groups challenge the liberties of Oklahoma citizens. My office will offer guidance and assistance to any school, their employees, and the students and families they serve to ensure the constitutional rights of Oklahomans are not impaired." It remains to be seen if such a neutral policy can actually be implemented, though, when it is fairly clear that the existing instances of distributing Gideon Bibles was done from a Christian perspective. Would the same teachers be willing to distribute the Quran and other religious texts at the same time? It is doubtful, but we look forward to seeing what new policies come out of the Oklahoma public schools to navigate this legal tug-of-war. The Quebec town of Saguenay will no longer be starting its city council meetings with a prayer. So says the Canadian Supreme Court in deciding a legal battle that has gone on for 8 years, working its way up through the appeals process. Jean Tremblay, mayor of Saguenay, is outraged over the decision, yet there is no alternative but to follow the ruling at this point. It didn't help the city's position that the prayer they used was clearly of Catholic origin, reflecting the city's history and the fact that the councilmen typically cross themselves at the end of it while saying, "In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost," which would define it as a Christian prayer if not Catholic. In a bit of consolation prize, the court decreed that the council chambers could retain some of its religious iconography, among which are a crucifix and statues depicting religious events and concepts.